Toastmasters, and welcome guests. Abraham Lincoln once said, "My father taught me to work, but did not teach me to love it." My first job was offered to me by my father. He worked in the construction trade as a bricklayer and a mason. School was out that summer, so I accepted his offer. I would not have to study for a few months, and the best thing was that he was going to pay me. Never before was I paid for throwing out the trash, mowing the lawn, or washing the car. So it seemed like a welcome change. Little did I know that working with my dad would mean a 4:30 a.m. wake-up call. Before leaving the house, we had to load up the pickup truck with cement bags, sand, scaffolding, plywood, and all of his tools. I was already sweating before we got to the job site, and once we arrived, the first thing he asked me for was his tool belt. There he kept a hammer, a measuring tape, and a chalk line. We proceeded to make 2 chalk lines along the concrete floor. The 2 lines represented the width of 1 block and the length of the wall that was going to be erected. My tools were a shovel, a wheelbarrow, and a water hose. I was then instructed how to measure the ratio of sand, cement, and water. After making the mix of concrete, my father was ready to start laying the blocks. Our day's goal was to erect a wall that contained 1,000 blocks. It would be hard to keep up with my dad, and to be a good assistant to the mason, the blocks and cement always needed to be provided at the right time. That summer the heat was unbearable. I remember my first day, my back and arm muscles were sore, my hands were swollen and blistered. Each day would be harder than the next until I learned to adapt. This experience taught me that work can be hard, it can be laborious, and a task that you must sometimes endure. Shortly after I graduated from high school, my dad took me out for a drive. He pointed out to me an office building, a school, and a housing development. As I heard my father describe his work, it taught me that work can also mean a sense of accomplishment and a pride in one's efforts. What I most enjoy about my work today is that I get to help customers solve problems so they can repair their machinery. This machinery they rely on so they can make a living. The company that I work for imports and exports heavy equipment parts to over 100 countries. Having to learn and adapt to my work duties during the years has led me to be a supervisor. I've had to interview employees and have done training within my sales department. I am happily married and have 1 sister living in Vermont with her family. Reading magazines, listening to music, and traveling to visit friends and family are some of the activities that I enjoy. I like to be a backyard mechanic at times, so I work on my family's cars when I get a chance. It's always good to learn something new, so my favorite TV shows are on the Discovery Channel. Keeping an aquarium and building scale models are activities that I've always liked and some of my favorite hobbies. I joined Toastmasters to learn how to speak effectively, do presentations, and work on my leadership skills. William Lyons Phelps once said, "One of the chief reasons for success in life is the ability to maintain a daily interest in one's work, to have a chronic enthusiasm and regard each day as important." With the help of my fellow Toastmasters, I believe that I am on my way to success. Thank you.